How long are you going to continue development for World of Tanks? And how long are you planning to support this project?
Well,
we had a 2-year plan, and we're coming up on the last few months of it. We will come up with a new development plan once we've reached the 2-year anniversary.
Are you ever going to add the visual effects for the equipped modules?
There were some discussions on the matter, but we couldn't commit to the idea. It puts us in a bit of an uncomfortable situation. We have to weigh the pros and cons. We'd be adding a few visuals, but we could potentially be bogging down a few of the less powerful computers out there. I understand that the owners of powerful computers desire to see more and more visual features, but we're trying to include as many people as possible. We'll have to look into ways to solve the problems that arise from additions like this.
When are you going to add the T-35 and the BT-7A?
We will add the T-35 as soon as we feel it'd be a good fit. The BT-7A has been in our stash for a long time, but we're not planning to add it or the T-26-5 anytime soon.
You've promised to make the game accessible for less powerful computers, but you have not developed for lower system requirements. Should we still expect these options?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we often have to choose between adding visuals or keeping our system requirements low. For the most part, we've sided with keeping the requirements low. In order to achieve truly ultra-low settings, we have to rework the entire rendering system. When we finish working on that project, it won't be gray boxes for tanks and green cones for trees. But we are going to try to introduce settings that allow for less detailed tanks and terrain. This should really help those less powerful computers, especially notebooks.
Some players have suggested that you increase the punishments for team killers. Will you be changing the punishment system anytime soon?
We don't plan on changing it in any drastic way. There are intentional team kills, but there are also accidental team kills. We're worried about punishing players too harshly, so we'll probably leave the system alone. New players, or players who simply misfire, shouldn't be banned too quickly.
After the announcement about the redesign of the Wargaming.net portal, you also mentioned that 3 of your games would be in the same universe. Can you please clarify that for us?
You'll have the same account for all 3 games. Players will be able to log into tanks, warplanes, and battleships using a single account. Additionally, we are going to allow free transfers of gold and free experience between the different games. Credits and non-free experience will not be available for transfer. We may create some transferable consumables, but no promises. The global map will be identical for each game and will be linked in some fashion. Perhaps clans who control the same airspace in warplanes or a nearby sea space in battleships will be able to lend aid to a territory on tanks.
When will you make clan wars available in every region?
We're working with our offices in these regions to get clan wars up and running. There are difficulties with the business side of things in some cases. Our partners are trying to solve these problems, and when they do so, clan wars will become available.
One of the most popular questions is, aren't you afraid of big competitors like MechWarrior Online?
We're not afraid of competition. They aren't going to sabotage our offices or anything like that. The other studios are just trying to make a good game. It's less about what they do and more about how hard we work. We develop our game every hour of every day. If another studio puts out a good game, there's nothing to be afraid of. We will just have to work harder. Oh well, it looks like we're all out of cookies.